This Liberty Sports Update is brought to you by Beacon Credit Union.
Well, good morning. It's obviously we're excited to be 4-0. I had a great team meeting this morning where we went over the truth of Saturday with everyone and put it in the trash. And now you got to prove yourself again this week. And it's a great thing about football is last week is over, and you got to prove yourself again this week. And it starts by winning each day in preparation. And we're excited about a very difficult challenge to go play an ACC opponent in their place, and have great respect for Coach Dino. He's a good man, number one, and a great football coach. And I know he'll have his guys ready, and look forward to this challenge, though.
All right, thank you, Coach. First question comes from Damian Sordelab from the Lynchburg News in Advance.
Coach, I'm going to piggyback off a question John had me ask Saturday, and you weren't prepared to answer about, being 4-0 and facing a Syracuse team, playing an ACC team for the first time this year. And what type of challenge will be for the program, and what type of step can you make with a good showing on Saturday?
Well, I mean, everything we do is about, in year two, trying to advance our program. And, what better opportunity you have than to go play an ACC team on the road and, hopefully be in the game and have a chance to compete to win it. And, that's our goal. Are we ready for those opportunities yet? I don't know, but I do know that for it to have meaning in at this point in the season, in year two, we have taken some steps forward. There are actually people that are expecting, us to compete. And so that's an expectation we embrace, and we're excited about. Are we worthy of it? I don't know. We're certainly going to give it our best shot and hopefully prove those people that believe that to be accurate. Time will tell, and obviously whatever the clock says, the scoreboard says after 60 minutes, we'll accept and we'll move from there as to exactly where we are right now. But I think we're further along in year two than I thought we would be, having gone to a bowl game last year and sitting here with 4-0 is proud of our kids and our staff and our administration and everybody here. But we'll see how Saturday goes. But we certainly are excited about it and are embracing the fact that we're expected to compete in it.
Next, we'll go to Chris Carlson from, I believe, Syracuse.com. Chris.
That's right. Thank you. Hugh, if I'm not mistaken, you guys have kind of indicated that you'll match the coronavirus testing standards of whatever league you play any week.
Correct.
I imagine the ACC is a step up just because of their resources. I was curious what days you have it planned this week, and if you guys are utilizing kind of an outside lab to accomplish it, which one?
Yeah, we're contracted with the ACC's lab, the same lab that they use, we've used all year long. This week we're testing every single day except for Tuesday and twice on Friday. So how many is that? It's 5 tests. I think there's 5 tests this week that we're doing. So we'll keep our fingers crossed and pray that all those results are good.
All right, next up, we go to Jermaine Farrell from FXR in Roanoke.
Hey, Coach, good morning, sir. Congratulations on being 4-0.
Thank you, sir.
Got to ask you, what can you take from last year's game that would help you for the matchup on Saturday, if anything?
Nothing for me. I won't even watch last year's game. That's so far removed from my mind, and obviously I think we're different with Buckshot and Malik at quarterbacks. It's two different deals. Our defense, I think, will watch it, but they'll probably show me some clips from it when we're finalizing the plan, but I won't watch it from an offensive perspective. What I do take from it is I'm glad to be upright.
Next up is Travis Wells from WDBJ 7.
Hey, Coach. Obviously, you guys had a great day on special teams the other day. And if you look around the country, there were a lot of special teams plays made in a lot of games with block kicks and punt returns and blocked punts. Can you just speak to the emphasis that you guys put on that aspect of the game during the week? And I know some coaches believe, and putting some of your best skilled athletes, your most talented athletes on those special teams units. Do you subscribe to that idea too?
Absolutely. I think there's certain teams that you certainly do, and then there's others you might try to rest some. But that's the first 2.5 periods of every practice we have is special teams, and then more on Thursday. So Coach Burns, who played for me and has done a really nice job with those, had one of those great days on Saturday, which that's thrilling. Anytime you get points, I think special teams can be the winning edge in a game, and anytime you can get points off of those, it's pretty special. And when you give up points on those, it kind of is like a dagger. So it was really exciting that Tanner's plan was great, and also to see kids like Treon Sibley and others contribute. DeMario Douglas, we've all known he's a good returner, but man, the blocking that was on both of those returns, it was really well coached. You could see. I mean, they had shots to block people in the back, and they all did a great job high walling. And I know Brody Brum and Quentin Reese, both on the touchdown one, just did an outstanding job with that. So Tanner's doing a good job coaching them. And we've had a bad day on special teams too this year, and and that was a great day Saturday. So hopefully we'll get more of those.
Next up, we go to John Manson from A Sea of Red.
Coach, as you look back to last year's game against Syracuse a little bit, since then, where would you say that you've seen the most improvement in your team?
We were really good offensively last year at times. So I don't know, after 4 games we're different. We certainly are trying to manage the game a little bit more and keep our defense on the field as few plays as we can. So I think our offensive line has improved. We didn't play particularly well last Saturday, but on the totality of the year, I think they've improved from last year. We're probably not quite as good at receiver right now just because of losing AGG, and then we've not been at full strength yet. We really miss Noah, and CJ being hampered some has really hurt us too. Running game, I think we're probably a little better. Defensively, I think we're better at a lot of spots. I think we've improved there probably everywhere.
Next is Emily Austin from Flame Central.
Hey, Coach, you said after the game you've got to find a way to get the team more consistent. How much of that is on Malik being more consistent throwing the football?
Well, if we're just talking about last Saturday, I thought our defense had one of the most complete efforts that I've been associated with in 27 years. I think it was like, I don't know, man, 7 3-and-outs or 8 3-and-outs, and then got turnovers, and I just thought they played really solid. Offensively, we were not consistent. Some of it, we lost really 3 possessions with special teams that, maybe we could have done something with, but Malik was very inconsistent, and early in the game and the entire first half, they were committed to stopping the run, and we had some people open and some for touchdowns if we complete them, and we missed a lot of throws, and he was inconsistent. So this week, games 1 and 2, I thought he was really consistent, and so I don't think it's. I just think he missed. He missed 6 to 7 practices, and hopefully Kent and him can get his mechanics back right. That was most of the problem. He still made plays. I mean, let's be clear. I mean, he still made plays for us too. So it's not like he just was inconsistent with a few throws. And y'all saw him too. I mean, we had people open for touchdowns on some shot plays, and we missed all 3 of them, and then missed some short throws too.
All right, next we'll go back to Chris from Syracuse.com.
Hugh, Josh Mack is from out this way,
Mm-hmm.
And I was curious if you could talk a little bit about how he kind of ended up with you guys, and just what he kind of brings to the team.
Yeah, I talked to him in the locker room after the game, and he's excited about going back to his home state. I honestly was not here when they recruited him. He was here when I arrived, so I can't really speak a lot to that. But I'm sure I'm glad we have him, and I think he's doing a nice job of maturing as as a young man, and obviously, he's our go-to guy at running back.
Can you talk about his style, I guess, a little bit? Describe it for folks that might not have watched him.
I think he's, he kind of reminds me, again, I'm not saying he's on the level of Le'Veon Bell or anything, but he's very patient like him. He's patient to the hole, and then he gets through the hole pretty quick, and he typically, even for his size, I think falls forward a lot. You very rarely see him going backwards at contact. And, he doesn't have top-end speed, but he's fast enough to have explosive plays. And just think, he pass protects very well, too, this year, which is a big improvement from last year. So, I think he's a pretty complete back, but I think his patience is how I would describe him in the run game.
Thank you.
Let's go back to Damian from the News in Advance.
And Coach, last week you're talking about, and you've talked about since you've been at Liberty, you like to be the first to accomplish something. And last week, first votes received in the coaches poll, and this week, first votes received in the AP Top 25 poll. The momentum that this on, and what does that speak to the level of play that Liberty has shown this year and building off of last year's bowl win?
I think we've advanced the program from our players and administration and staff, everyone that pours into it. For us to be in those discussions certainly means you're heading in the right direction. Exactly where we are on that roadmap is a wide spectrum. Who really knows? The end of the season will tell. I mean, we're getting ready to go into a very difficult stretch of games with Syracuse, Southern Miss, Virginia Tech, NC State. I mean, that's a tough stretch of games for us, and hopefully we can stay healthy, and hopefully we can pass the COVID test and be at full strength and kind of have a good finish to our season. But there's no question for us in year 2 to be in those discussions means we've done some good things that have got us headed in the right trajectory.
All right, let's go to Hank Kurtz from the Associated Press.
Hey, Hugh. Good to see you.
You too, Hank.
Last year, great anticipation for Syracuse. They were ranked. First game, fourth-year starting quarterback. You didn't get to see it because you were laying down, but Jerry arrived in a helicopter. Is there an advantage to having 4 wins under your belt, even though you're going on the road, rather than playing them right out of the gate?
Probably so. There's probably an advantage right now because we know a little bit more about ourselves and what we can do, what we can't do, what we're good at, what we're not good at. Because when you play a Power 5 team like Syracuse, the roster is, stacked with Power 5 players. And that doesn't mean that they'll have the best team on a given day, but certainly if you just look at the roster from top to bottom, they're probably going to test out better than we would in a lot of areas. So I think to be able to play them with more confidence and at the same time to know more about who we are and what we can do is definitely a bit more an advantage for us going in it than probably for them because, they probably can line up and do what they do and maybe are better than us. I don't know. But we probably need to be very good at play calling on Saturday to have a chance to win it. And I think having 4 games to see, this kid can do this kid can do that, this kid can do that. Let's stay with what we can do.
The Dome can be a pretty intimidating place to play when it's loud and full. Is there an advantage to the fact that there's going to be a limited crowd there?
I haven't experienced the Carrier Dome, so it's I don't know. I need to find out from, I don't know if they're piping in noise. I don't know all those things yet. We need to find those out. I've got that on my list of things to do today. But, so I really don't know what the environment's going to be like yet. Do you know? I mean, anybody know? Are they piping in noise, or is it just us and them in there?
I think most people are piping in noise. Last one from me. How's your back?
Man, I'm so blessed, Hank. Thanks for asking. it gets stiff every now and then from standing some, I think, but really no pain to speak of. So thank you. I'm doing well.
John, you can go ahead.
You mentioned Noah Frith earlier. What's his status this week? And same question for Tim Kidglass.
Doubtful on Noah. Tim Kidglass, I'll know more tomorrow.
Damian, go ahead.
Piggybacking off that, how's Bryce Matthews doing? I know he's been out the last few weeks, and you expect to get him back to add to that offensive line depth?
I do. I think he'll be back tomorrow.
Got time for a couple more here for Coach. Coach, I'll ask you one that I didn't get a chance to ask you during the radio show. Just watching the Duke tape, looked like they were able to get some rushing yards on them. I think using maybe some similar personnel groupings like what you use. Do you take anything from that, or is there anything that you can kind of take away from how they attack them?
Yeah, we'll look at every film that they've played, and certainly Duke lines up similar to us for sure. Do we have equal players that Duke has? I don't know. We watched a lot of tape yesterday, and we think we'll have a good plan. But certainly we'll take a lot from those games as to what fits in our system. But I will say this: the first thing that jumps at you when you put the Syracuse film on is that D line. They jump off the page now. We got to work hard to try to handle them. All their movements and twists can give you problems.
Let's go to Chris from Syracuse.com.
Hugh, I'm pretty sure you were serious about testing 5 times a week when I asked you earlier. Is that, I guess, in response to some of the questions you faced from other programs earlier this offseason, or have you been doing that the whole way?
No, we test whatever we have. I think the 5 tests this week, it's not normal for 5. It's usually 2 to 3 depending on what conference we play, but at minimum 2, and in most weeks it's been 3. This week it's I think it's more to do with the state of New York. We're just making sure we're adding some at our own decision. I know we were scheduled to do Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We're going to add one on Thursday and another one on Friday before we get on the plane and antigen test, and then get it. Then the ACC people come to the hotel, I think, that Friday night and do another one.
Got it. That makes sense. Thank you.